Welcome to the Trainer Talk, where we discuss topics related to health and fitness to help you gain back control of your health and fitness and become the absolute best version of yourself physically and mentally. Enjoy. Alrighty, we are live for another Trainer Talk. Today we're going to be talking about making yourself proud. So basically what we want to kind of uncover is when you finish your day and you're getting ready to go to bed, kind of ask yourself, like, are you proud of what you accomplished for that day? Or are you maybe a little bit disappointed by what you did or didn't do, right? So we can kind of apply this to all the actions that we take. We'll relate it to health and fitness. So for me, like, in order to be proud of my day, usually that's going to consist of, getting enough work done, helping somebody. So I try to make sure I'm helping someone every day, whether it's a training session, a class, podcast, working with, maybe it's spending time with you guys as like a coach, a mentor. Obviously trying to do something to improve myself. So I want to learn something new. So I listen to podcasts, read a book, getting a workout in. So improving myself physically and mentally. I like to move my body. So doing those things and kind of checking those off, I can go to bed at night kind of proud of what I did for that day, the actions that I took. When I don't do those things, I feel like I didn't get enough done, and I almost kind of go to bed disappointed. And then you end up thinking about all the stuff that you want to do, and it actually kind of hinders you from being able to get a good night's sleep and then starting fresh the next day, motivated to do it again. So that's kind of how I'd like to kick it off. Maybe you guys want to touch on more about what you do to make yourself proud, and then we can give the audience some guidance on what they might be able to do too.
Yeah, and I think it's a really cool reflection just to ask yourself at the end of the day, like, hey, did I make myself proud today? Like, am I proud of what I did, the person that I was, things like that, just because it can kind of vary day to day. Some days maybe you aren't feeling on top of the game and you're not checking off all the boxes of everything, but, you can still be proud of what you did do. And so it's maybe looking at what you did do versus what you didn't do.
Yeah.
Because we can kind of get caught up in, oh man, I should have done this today. I could have done that. I could have done this. But instead of focusing on what you did right, what you did good, it actually helps to set that momentum in the right direction because you're focusing on rewarding yourself for the good things, like working out or, pushing yourself in, like the running. Like that's a big thing for me is like being proud of just going out and doing it. Because it's not quite part of the identity yet, but just being proud of yourself for just going out and doing the hard things.
And you're starting small too.
Right.
So it's like your goal is to run in August, right?
Yeah.
Is that the race?
Mm-hmm.
And so it's not like you're going out running 10 miles right away. It's like you're going out
7
running
miles.
a couple miles. Well, yeah, but you start out smaller
Yeah.
and then you increase from there.
Mm-hmm.
I think people don't focus on the good things that they do enough. They only focus on what they didn't do or the bad things that they did.
Or they'll be like, oh, I could have done that better. Like, I could always look back on a workout and been like, oh, I could have probably done maybe a little bit heavier. Oh, I could have done this maybe a little faster. I could have, you can think of all these things, but instead of just being proud that like, hey, I did it.
Yeah.
And that's like with quarterfinals too. Like I kind of realized I was just proud that I did it and I got there because I'd wanted to do the quarterfinals workouts and like be the quarterfinal level athlete for probably since I started. That was a goal. And so just being proud of like how far you've come too, like looking back from when I started to now and just kind of being like, okay, like putting in the work day by day, like you don't always see the needle moving, but if you can be proud of the effort that you put in on a day by day basis, that could be proud of taking pride in your work, taking pride in how you keep your house, taking pride in just like the type of person or friend, significant other that you are. I think that plays into it too. Just overall, it doesn't just have to be your accomplishments. It can be just like those little personal things too.
Yeah, well, I feel like there's some days where we just go through the motions.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, I have those days. Everybody have those days, but there's still things to take out of that. Still, like, you're still doing good things throughout the day, even though you're going through the motions and maybe you're not like exceeding expectations or going the extra mile. Like, you're still putting in the work, whether it's in the workout, at work, you're getting everything you need to get done. But then it's those days that you do go extra. Like, there's something special happens, like one of my clients hits a new PR, or we do a body scan and they have great results. Like, they put in that work and you feel good because you helped them out. And those are like the days where you feel it the most, where you feel proud, I guess. But then, like, both, you can take things out of both, good things out of both, for sure.
And what I would like to encourage and what I try to do personally is, like, I try to make as many days as possible make that happen.
Yeah.
Like, I want to try to do something that I can be super proud of every single day, you know?
Yeah, and I think when you're aware of it too, you can kind of
And writing
be
stuff
more
down
intentional about
and
it.
setting goals for the day, like planning out the day, that's all going to be important for that. And it doesn't have to be health and fitness. It could be professionally, family, and relationships. Like, you know, I had goals of, you know, every day it's kind of like a thing of, okay, I want to try to do something with the dog and Katie. Maybe it's every day or at least every weekend we're going to do something. I want to go and see my dad every single weekend. To spend time with him. Like, all those little things do make you proud and make you happier and make you feel like you accomplished more, stuff like that. But,
Yeah, I was gonna say, I think the thing that makes me most proud these days is being the best mom that I can be, and obviously that is taking care of Wyatt, doing everything that he needs me to do, but that also requires me taking care of myself. So making sure that I work out as many days a week as I can, is making sure I make healthy meals for our family, like knowing that I'm feeding Wyatt and Corey and all of us like good healthy meals, like makes me feel proud as a mom and as a wife. And then I mean, each day, like you guys have kind of already said, like each day is going to look different, and especially as a sleep deprived mom, some days where I don't get a lot of sleep, you know, my workout may not be an entire hour of doing the hardest Metcon I've ever done and doing a ton of strength training. Some days I just need to get out and go for a walk for my workout. And that doesn't mean that I should not be proud of myself because I didn't get in an hour workout. Like, I should still be proud of myself for giving what I had that day. So I kind of feel like our bodies run on different levels every single day. Like, some days you might be running at 100%. Some days your body might be running at only like 60%, but that doesn't mean that you're failing. I mean, as long as you're giving that 60% of what you have that day, I think you're still doing the best that you
I would
can.
say the majority of days you're
Yeah.
probably running off less than 100%.
Right.
I mean, there's
Yeah.
not
Yeah.
many
100%
days.
maybe.
Yeah.
There's not many days where I come in and I'm like, oh, let's freaking go.
Yeah.
Like, you know, and most of the time it's like probably on a Saturday after I've slept in an extra couple hours, then I have like the little
You might
extra
feel
energy to like get after it in the workout. But most of the time it's like, you know, we end up talking each other into doing each other's Metcons because we don't want to do it by ourselves. You know, so it's like, all right, well, let's just do one. We'll pick one of them. And we'll both do it that way. You know, Caitlin, the other day, you're like, you guys want to do this with me? I don't want to do this. You know, so it's like you don't feel 100% motivated and energized every single time.
But I still did it.
But yes, you did it. And actually, I think it's the days where you don't feel like doing stuff, the days that you are a little tired, you're only running on 50%, 60% of your capacity. It's those days when you still put forth the effort to do something, you go to bed the most proud of yourself.
Oh yeah.
It's not the days that you're the most energized and you get all this done. It's the days where you don't want to do it and you do the hard stuff and you get it done. That's when I'm most proud.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, for sure. It's the days where my alarm's set for 5 a.m. and my kid wakes me up 3 times in the night and I do not want to get up, but I get up, I get my workout in or whatever I have to do. And those are the days where I feel like if I can do this, like I can do anything, like I can accomplish anything. So for sure.
Yeah, that's like, I never thought I would enjoy waking up at 4:30 in the morning to then go and drive and then run a long run Saturday mornings. I'm like, Saturday morning getting up early, like when they first brought it up, and I was like, oh man, I'm like, that's so early. And I'm like, what if I want to go out on Friday nights? And I'm like, you know what? Like, you just suck it up, Buttercup. Like, go do it. And I'm glad that I started right away just because it was, you know, it's just, you feel great afterwards. It's crazy because, you know, the whole world's asleep. We were talking about that on the run, and the whole world's asleep, and you get to like see the world wake up. Like the sun rises,
Yeah.
the birds start chirping, people start coming out, and you're out there before all that,
Yeah.
and it's just an interesting feeling. And then you get like this really good like boost of energy and great mood afterwards, and that's like a huge thing where you're like, oh yeah, I accomplished something, and it's 7 a.m. in the morning, and then I have the whole rest of the day, and it's super cool.
Yeah, it's invigorating.
Yes.
Really.
Yeah.
That's what I've always been like. It sucks when your alarm goes off at 4 a.m. Like you said, like no part of me wants to crawl out of bed at that point. I'm still really tired. But as soon as I get up and get going, and then I get here, and luckily I've got an amazing 515 group of people. You know, there's always 10 to 15 people in it. And they're all the same way. When they show up, everybody's kind of tired. And then once we get moving and grooving in class and everybody's talking and laughing, and by the time we're stretching out, everybody's in a great mood.
Yeah.
And it's always worth it, you know. And then by the time, you know, 9 o'clock rolls around, I'm 5 hours into my day, which is like when everybody's just getting to work and getting going for the day. And I feel this sense of accomplishment every time I do that. So even though it stinks to get up at 4, you gotta go to bed early, all that kind of stuff. It's very rewarding in
I
that
don't
sense.
feel like you ever regret it.
No,
Like
no.
I've never.
It's kind of like a workout. Like you never
Yeah.
regret a workout, no matter how the workout went.
Yeah.
You know.
Well,
Yeah.
unless you break your ankle, then you regret it. But
Yeah.
still a fun workout. Anywho, I think overall it's like a lot of it is, you know, whether it's like you said, preparing those meals, you know, making that healthier choice. Like when you make those good decisions for yourself, and you know internally, that's one thing is like, you know, if you're putting in your effort, you know, if you're giving yourself 100%, or even if it's, you know, all of 60%, whatever you have to give. And if you're putting that best foot forward, you know, at the end of the day, like it's just you talking to yourself, or, you know, that's kind of what you have to prove to yourself. It's more about your own view of yourself rather than anybody else's opinion. When you go to bed at the end of the night, like that's really what matters. Because, you know, you can be like, oh, I'm worried about what my boss thinks. I'm worried about what this person would think, or I'm doing this for this person. You know, trying to make these other people in your life proud, but then it's like, okay, reflect and like, are you actually making yourself proud with what you're doing? Or are you trying to meet the expectations of everybody else, but, you know, not really focusing on your own and like how you feel about yourself that way? And I think that's how people can build that self-confidence, when they're proud of themselves. Like some people, like they just exude that confidence in themselves because, you know, they are proud of what they do. And that's how it's really built, is just focusing on what you're doing and are you proud of the effort that you're putting in.
Yeah. And it really comes down just kind of like your mindset and recognizing the things that you're doing. Kind of an example of that I can think of is, you know, when I'm in class and we're doing strength, for example, and I have recommendations of like, okay, we're doing 4 sets of 4 squats today. You should be able to do about 60 to 80% of whatever you can do for your max, you know, and people start loading the bar up and they're like, okay, how much weight do I need? And I said, well, how did it feel? You know, I can't, I'm not sure how it feels on your back. It's up to you to feel the weight and push yourself. Can you do more? You know, can you push it and go heavier? Whatever it is. It's like, that's up to you. Kind of like what you were saying. It's like, you've got to make that decision to put in the effort, and do what you need to do to make yourself proud or not. But at the same time, just being here, doing whatever we do say, you should be proud of that as well. Just showing up and doing the work. You're still ahead of 90% of the population. But it's up to you internally. Like, don't worry about what everybody else is doing. Did you do what you needed to do to feel accomplished and rewarded for the day? So, yeah.
Yeah, honestly, I feel good when, one, I work on myself, and that's with nutrition, exercise, learning, you know, mentally working on myself. And then I also feel good when I help other people too. Those are like 2 main things that like you get that big hit of dopamine and you're proud from. So to me, I always feel proud of just the job that I do here. I'm proud to be a personal trainer and to help our community and help people that come in. And see the changes that and transformations that happen inside these walls here. That's just something to be proud of alone. And then those people can be proud of what they've done inside these walls. So it's kind of like both of you can be proud of that transformation. And then just spending even like just little things, helping out my family, spending time with family, like serving and helping people. You know what I mean? Just that kind of thing.
100%. Yeah.
So those are like the two main things that I'm proud of the most.
Yeah. I think it's like, it's building that best version of yourself.
Yeah.
It's like, that's what makes you proud. It's like,
Yeah.
what does the best version of me look like? And then how can I do more of that today? Or like be more of that person today? And, you know, that's where like that pride comes from, okay, like I want to give my best, not, you know, for yourself, obviously, because you know, deserve to live the life that you want to, and, like deserve, like if you put in the work, like you deserve to be happy with everything that you've done and everything you've accomplished. But then also for the other people, like, you know, for clients, for your coworkers, for your family, it's like, you know, if you're the best version of yourself, then that's going to be great for everybody around you too.
Yeah. Picture your best self. What does that look like? What are you doing? And if every day you're working towards that and getting closer and closer to that, you can be proud every single night before you go to bed.
And then it kind of cascades and people feed off that.
Yeah.
And you start charging everybody else's batteries.
Yep.
I always like that analogy because everybody knows the people that are kind of battery drainers, and then everybody knows the people that are battery chargers. And I try to be a battery charger every day, no matter how I'm feeling and stuff like that. It's like I want to, if I help somebody else,
Yeah.
you know, when somebody walks in and we greet them, hey Greg, how's it going today? With a big old smile on your face. Somebody said the other day, why are you always so happy? You know,
Yeah.
it's like,
I had a
I have
client
no
say
reason
that
to be
me too this week.
not happy, you know, and
That's something to be proud of.
but that's also my goal is literally I want people to walk in here
Yeah.
from their stressful jobs or whatever's going on in their life and to leave feeling better and having a boost of energy, relieve that stress, leave it all on the floor. So it's our duty to be that battery charger for them. And that gives me that sense of pride.
That's what I was going
And
to say.
it's really rewarding.
If you can give that to somebody else, that makes you
Yeah,
feel good
Exactly.
Yeah, one of my clients just this morning I was like, how are you doing? She's like, not great. And so I was like, okay, like that's all right. We went through the workout and I said, okay, now how are you feeling? And she's like, good. Like, I was like, are you feeling better than when you came in here? And she said, yeah. And I was like, okay. And then I did my job. Like,
Yeah.
When we had a good session.
yeah, like that's awesome. Now you can go out and have a better day than
And
you were
that's
having.
a really good example of, just as a tip for people watching and listening, is like if you want to kind of have like go to bed feeling proud, accomplished, like have a good day, usually if you start with something that you're proud of, it's gonna, you know, cascade in the rest of the day. Like the rest of the day is gonna be better.
Yeah.
So starting your day, getting something done around the house, getting in a workout, going outside, having a healthy meal, writing down your plans for the day. Maybe it's reading or do something positive that's gonna make you become a little bit better, get a little step closer to who you want to become, whatever it is. And that just like making your bed, you know, like
That's
when
what I
you
was
make
gonna
your
say.
bed, that's a little tiny win for the day.
Accomplishment.
Yes, it's a little accomplishment. You get that little hit of dopamine, and then that translates into the rest of the day.
Yeah, that reminded me of that video that a speech the Navy SEAL
Yeah.
commander gave about the importance of making your bed in the morning and how it affects the rest of your day.
Because it's like one of the easiest things that you can do to get a quick win.
Yeah.
And then it cascades in the rest of the day. It's like, so one of my goals for the summer is like, I really want to get outside more. Like I grew up an outdoors kid. I was constantly riding bikes, making tree forts, we were outside nonstop. It's not like today where every 10-year-old's got a cell phone now and an iPad and an Xbox and PlayStation, all that stuff. It's like we were outside doing stuff constantly. And I don't get outside as much. And so one of the goals is like, I want to get outside. And so I'm going to get, kill two birds at once by doing some activity. So it's going out for, like this morning, I only had 10 minutes before my client came in. And I'm like, the sun's coming up. It's really cool when like the world's waking up, like you said. It's super like, I don't know, it's like a weird feeling. It's like peaceful and
It's hard to describe.
invigorating. It's energizing. So I threw on 50-pound backpack and walked a half a mile. So I did like a little half-mile ruck with 50 pounds. And then we went out for a bike ride. So we got some more fresh air. And that's like my way of getting outside a little bit more. I want to try to do that in the morning, and I want to try to do that at night a little bit too. And that makes me proud when I go to bed. It's like, okay, I got outside, I helped someone, I got my work done, accomplished my little tasks. I think that's a huge thing too, is like there's something about literally taking your pen and you got this list of tasks and you check that off. It just makes you feel way more accomplished when you can check those things off. So that's another tip that I do every single day that makes me feel like I'm accomplished every day.
Yeah. It's
Do you
good.
have any other like things that you check off every day?
Yeah. Any other habits, tips, or anything?
It's different
Yeah.
every day, I feel like, but
That's true.
um,
I think maybe what you could do is, if it's hard for you to remember to like have that internal conversation with yourself, if you're proud of yourself, write it down every
Yeah.
night. Like
Yeah.
instead of, taking 10 minutes to journal, just like have a notebook by the side of your bed or even in your phone, have like a notes thing and just, okay, what am I proud of for today? And just like jot down the things that you
Yeah.
are proud of for
Gratitude.
doing. Yeah.
And what'll happen is after you do that for a little while, you'll get really good at thinking of it naturally.
Right.
Like, every single night it'll just kind of click. Like, oh, what did I do today that I was proud of?
I think you become more positive. And,
Yeah. 100%.
Yeah.
And give yourself reminders. Like I put make yourself proud as my screensaver.
Oh.
And so lock screen. So it's like, okay, it's a daily reminder.
That's
Just
awesome.
like make yourself proud of what you do. And I mean, you could stick it on your mirror. You could put it on a water bottle. They got all those little stickers
Yeah.
and magnets and fun things now. So
Yeah.
on your computer, like just as like those little visual reminders and cues, to be like, okay, like am I making myself proud of the choices that you make? Like put it on your fridge if you need to.
Yeah.
Like that would be a good one of like, okay, like and the choice I'm about to make, like, is that going to make me proud?
And unfortunately, the world has kind of primed us to always think about the negatives and almost be in a negative type mindset. I mean, think about people that first thing they do when they wake up, grab a cup of coffee, watch the news.
Yeah.
Guess what 99% of the news is? It's the world's problems, bad things that are going on.
Yeah.
And then you start in this negative, upset type mood. And then that translates into the rest of the day. So I think the more things that you can do that uplift you and more things that you can do to make yourself proud is going to be better. You're going to be a more positive person, kind of what you guys had just said. And that's going to help everybody around you too.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So,
And it kind of ties into what we talked about last week of like you're taking control over your own actions because you're focusing on making yourself proud. You're focusing on what you're doing, not focusing on the rest of the world. Like if I woke up and I watched the news every day, I would be like,
Yeah.
this world is it's hopeless. And so then I would go
yeah.
I'd go
You'd
throughout
feel
my day
like
like
that.
that. And I
Yeah,
would be
yeah.
like, what's the point?
Right.
Like no wonder people are all depressed and anxious
Yeah.
about everything that's
Even,
on
like,
social media and
Even social media.
like
Yeah.
I took Instagram, Facebook, or Facebook's on my phone right now, but Instagram and TikTok off my phone
Yeah.
because like
And
you get
not
doom
TikTok
scrolling
anymore.
and it's
Yep.
awful. And like I can go on my computer on Instagram or
Yeah.
not TikTok, but I can go on my computer and look at Instagram if I really want to, or answer messages or something, or make a post. But
Yeah.
I'm not sitting there scrolling because I always have this. I don't always have my computer with
Yeah.
me.
Right.
Right.
So just keeping it maybe
Yeah. So that goes into your environment.
yeah.
Setting up your environment to set yourself up for success. What do you need to do every day to feel proud of yourself? What's probably, if you scrolled on TikTok for 4 hours, you're going to go to bed like, oh my God, I wasted so much time on it.
Yeah.
You're going to go to bed pretty mad at yourself,
Yeah.
right? So set up your environment to help you feel proud of yourself.
Yeah.
Like if you have your workout clothes set up and you keep the TV off at a certain time and you set up your environment, healthy foods around, we
Yep.
talk about all this stuff every week. You're going to feel so much better about yourself in the long run. You're going to go to bed feeling, really proud of yourself every day.
Yeah.
And the goal wouldn't be obviously 7 days a week, 52 weeks a year. You're not going to go to bed proud of yourself. But if you can go to bed proud of yourself at least 80% of the time or 90% of the time, it's going to be much, much better than, if you only do something 1 or 2 days a week or, every once in a while you go out for a walk and eat a healthy meal. You're not going to be satisfied with the way your life is going. And that's where people get into where they're just coasting through life. I think
Yeah.
one of you mentioned that earlier.
Yeah.
You just wake up and kind of go through the
Yeah.
motions
That's
every
what you
day.
said.
Yeah.
That's where life becomes, more bland. You just kind of go through the motions. There's no excitement. You're not, you don't have any kind of feelings or anything like that going through life. You kind of live for the weekends, maybe stuff like that. So yeah, those are my tips for how to be proud of yourself. Hopefully this will help. Any other final thoughts?
No,
No, I don't think
That
so.
was good.
No, yeah.
Okay. Just to recap really, really quickly. So I would try to, one, to start thinking about what you're doing right now. Are those actions stuff that you should be proud of, or stuff that maybe you need to start adjusting and changing? And I would start by adding in things that you could be proud of, not necessarily getting rid of the stuff that you're doing that might be steering you away. It's going to be easier to add good things in. So think about fitness, your relationships, your family, your career. What are you doing every single day that you could be proud of? And I would try to exceed expectations. Don't just float through and do, what's required of you every day. Try to do something beyond what's required of you. And that's what's going to give you that sense of accomplishment. Just like the days where you don't want to do anything, but you do end up doing it, you get really rewarded and you feel very accomplished when you do that. So that would be how I'd recommend doing it. So
give yourself the reminders, like the visuals, like put stickers somewhere, put it on your phone, put it on your computer, or put a notepad beside your bed to remind yourself to reflect on that.
Yeah, reflect on it. Start thinking about the positives, not just the negatives, for sure. Set up your environment for success. Surround yourself with people that might uplift you and move you in the right direction. Like, luckily, we all have the same aspirations, core values, goals.
Yeah.
So start, and even if you can't physically be with somebody that's like-minded and moving towards where you want to be, that's what the cool thing with YouTube and Instagram is you can follow people that are kind of living the life that you want to eventually live like. So a lot of my mentors, they're online, and I listen to them in podcasts. I read their books. I watch them on YouTube, and that I can gather that positivity from and learn from them and apply things in my life that are going to move me in the direction that I want to go. So, all good stuff. So hopefully this helps frame your mind a little bit, get you thinking about being proud of what you're doing. Big or small, doesn't have to be anything major. Start super small. Until next time, stay healthy. We'll see you. Thanks again for tuning in to the Trainer Talk. If you are ready to gain back control of your health and fitness, we would love to sit down and chat with you to see if we can put together a plan for you. All you have to do is head to TaylorHutchinsonFitness.net and book a free consult. Again, make sure you like and subscribe if you like the video, and hopefully we'll see you soon.